Hello and welcome to episode 18 of Shooting the Shit with Jim. I'm Jim, the host, and with me this week is my very special guest, Pete from Pedro's Movie Cavern. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome. You guys, if you have not already done so, please, you can subscribe to Pete. Name of his channel is Pedro's Movie Cavern. We're going to talk about why a Welshman is named Pedro, but we'll go from there later. And the actual handle is Cine Apocalypse Online. And that's the actual address. He's also on Instagram, all kinds of the normal stuff. I'll give him a chance to plug everything later on. But I got to know Pete here a little bit through the live streams with the loons that Ollie does. And we hit it off pretty well, I think. And I was just over the moon when you said that you would agree to be on my show. So again, sir, thank you very much for being here. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. How'd you get your start on YouTube?
This is years and years and years ago. I started maybe 2010 and just posted just random videos of unboxing and DVD updates and stuff when I was shooting on a high 8 digital camera with the tapes that I was then transfer into my really shit laptop or computer. And then about 2 years ago, I posted a video, which was what was it? It was, I can't even remember what it was now. It was the realities of being a physical media collector.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only like 11 minutes long, but it kind of hit something. And it ended up, I think it's on like 67,000 views now. And
wow.
and I thought, well, if I can maybe not hit that many views per video, maybe I can get a few extra views talking about stuff that I really like, which is movies and collecting movies and just all that stuff. And so then I just started doing collection videos a bit more regularly, doing stuff about my collection, so like going through my DVD collection and all that stuff. But what started off was basically it was me just talking about being a physical media collector and what it's like to have a big collection, the ups, the downs, and all that stuff. And I got really bored of doing that, so then I just started posting any random stuff to do with movies. And that's how it continued.
Nice. Yeah, I enjoy your content quite a bit. I made the comment last week you did a pickup video.
Yeah,
where you had the picture of the Towering Inferno of Blu-rays, and it was like I saw that picture. I'm thinking you're gonna get crushed like the dwarfs from Stonehenge. You know, I mean, yeah, it was just. But what do you remember? What your very first theatrical experience was as a kid?
So I remember the first film that I was taken to see. It would have been Oliver and Company.
Oh, okay.
1988, I think it was.
Yeah, late 80s. I know that.
Yeah, I was like 5 years old then. That's the earliest memory I have for cinema. But the earliest like full memory I have of going to the cinema was Jurassic Park. Because I remember I went to see it on my 10th birthday.
Okay.
And it was amazing at the time.
Yeah.
So that's the one that stands out. Same as Independence Day. Titanic I saw twice.
Yeah.
Not by choice.
No, I can imagine what Jurassic Park would be like to a 10-year-old, because when I was 10, that's when Star Wars came out. You know, the original. Yeah. So I'm sure the effect was pretty similar. You know, I mean, it's just one of those perfect age for one of those types of movies where it's just your mind just, what the hell, you know? So, and shit, I saw Jurassic Park in my 20s, and the first time I saw those damn dinosaurs, I felt like I was 10. You know, like, oh, I mean, I did. I felt like Sam Neill. It was like, holy shit, that's awesome. I mean, it was, you know? So, yeah, that's awesome. What about video? You know, videotape, DVD, whatever, you know, like a rental?
So, VHS, we had like 2 video stores, which were a minute walk from where my house was.
Mm-hmm.
We had one called the Cardiff Video Centre, which was like a big, huge, like it's a bar now, but it used to be this huge video store that had all the videos along the walls on the outsides, and then some like shelving in the middle. But they had a section that was cut off for kids, and then they had the adult section that was cut off through a couple of swinging saloon doors.
Yeah.
But the other one we had was a video store called ABC Video, which was literally across the road from where my house was. And my mum, she pre-ordered the rental copy of Back to the Future 2 again from my birthday when I was, oh God, I can't even remember. Because that would have been 89, but it probably would have been 90 in the UK.
Yeah.
When it came out on VHS. So I would have probably been about 7 at that time.
Mhm.
And it was like, that film has since become my favorite film of all time. So Back to the Future 2 is the earliest memory I have of VHS. The first DVD I ever purchased was Pitch Black.
I love that movie.
Yeah, because I bought it when I bought the first DVD player. And the other one, I bought 2 actually. I bought Pitch Black and Little Nicky.
I love that
Adam
movie
Sandler
too. A lot of people don't.
I
but
don't
do.
own Little Nicky anymore. I still own Pitch Black, but I'm a big Adam Sandler fan, but I do not like Little Nicky.
Yeah, see, now I'm the opposite. I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan, but I do like Little Nicky just because, it's got some stupid, all of his movies are stupid, but Happy Gilmore is still my favorite. I'll watch Happy Gilmore once a week. I love that movie. Okay, that's awesome though. Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot worse than seeing Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Or even, I'm not a big fan of the Back to the Future sequels. I'm a big fan of the original. But again, to a child, I could just imagine what those movies would be like. So again, that's awesome. That's awesome. We're gonna play. Oh, wait a minute! Before we start doing our thing, I want to jump into the comments here because I see we have a lot of them. So let's just join in or jump in. And the first one, of course, is Stacy. Hello, Stacy. She says hello and thanks from Stacy. What are your favorite cinemas in Wales? Are there like any specialty cinemas?
We have no specialty cinemas. We used to years and years ago, but now it's all mega chain cinemas. We've got one called Cineworld, one called The View, and we've got Odeon as well. But other than that, there's no real like speciality cinemas. There's an art house cinema not that far from me, but I'm not an art house movie person. So
right.
Unless they show random 80s sci-fi movies, then I'm probably not gonna go there. But yeah, there used to be one round where I used to live, and it was called the Monroe Cinema. It was just a single screen cinema. It's a live music venue now, but that was where I saw Jurassic Park. It was where I saw Independence Day, Titanic, Lost in Space, Spice World, the movie. Like I spent the majority of my teens in that cinema.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that in Cardiff or in Wales anymore.
Yeah, I always think about because part of my growing up was going to drive-ins, which I know aren't big over in Europe, but the one drive-in that I went to, the first movie I ever remember seeing or going to rather, is Battle for the Planet of the Apes at a drive-in. That's a fucking grocery store now with a parking lot. And that they tore that down 30 odd years ago. But every time I drive by that intersection, I think about that drive-in. It's part of my childhood, So.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring me down, Jim. Okay. She says, movie showdown. What movie makes you laugh more? She's given us 4 to choose from, so I guess we only get to choose one. Wayne's World, Bowfinger, Big, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
I'm not a fan of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Big's big. I mean, it's Tom Hanks, so it would be between Wayne's World and Bowfinger. And I love Wayne's World, but Bowfinger has Chubby Rain, and that
Chubby Rain.
Eddie Murphy in that movie is like, what happened to him after that? It's one of the only Steve Martin films that I actually really enjoy as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bowfinger. I'd go with Bowfinger.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Bowfinger, because again, Eddie, it's definitely Eddie Murphy's last hilarious performance, live performance. I mean, he was pretty damn funny as Donkey, but yeah, Steve Martin is very funny in that, but Eddie Murphy owns that movie. He is so goddamn funny. So yeah, I'd have to go with Bowfinger on that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And Melina is here. Hello, Melina.
Hello.
Zoe Deschanel still dropped out from North. Okay. She's always talking about celebrities that dropped out of certain colleges and such. Stacy also says, happy to subscribe and follow both. And thanks, Jim, for 18 programs here thus far. No, thank you, Stacy, for all your support. So I appreciate it. My good friend Texas Hardcore is here. Hello, Texas.
Hello.
Hello, Pedro. And Words and Pictures is also here. Hello. Thank you so much for being here as well. Okay, we're going to play the first game of the day. It's what I call top three. And I will ask you, we're doing two versions of this game today. The other version will be later on. But the first version, I'm going to ask you a genre of film. You're going to tell me your top three of each.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't necessarily have to be the best. It's just whatever comes into your head.
Yeah.
It won't be held against you. And your answers today could change tomorrow. So nobody's putting a gun to your head. It's just whatever comes to your head. Dude, I give this little disclaimer every time. And then I ask the first genre, and 95% of these people go, oh, Jesus, you put me on the spot. It's like, I just told you. There's no fucking pressure. So, top three comedies. Go.
Top three comedies. I said these on Ollie's stream the other day, which was Clue, Head of State, and Biodome.
Biodome. That still gets me.
I love Biodome.
I know. It's all good. Top three action films.
So I have this thing with action movies because there is a difference between certain action movies. You've got the big ones like Terminator 2, Rambo, and not Rambo, First Blood, and Die Hard. Those are the three main ones that most people would probably choose.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've also got the direct-to-video, like library of everything.
Hey, you stumped me the other day with that Slipstream movie that I found on eBay, by the way. I'm going to be ordering that shit this week. But
top three,
and I'm talking just straight action. Okay,
straight action.
Because we'll get to the other subgenres momentarily.
Okay, so Terminator 2 is definitely up there. That's one of because I can watch that film over and over and over and over. Ronin.
Great movie.
Because it's one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Great movie.
And probably the first John Wick movie. Yes.
Okay. Top 3 sci-fi.
Oof. I like a lot of sci-fi. I'm a sci-fi nerd.
I know you are.
Last Starfighter.
Nice.
I'm not going to say Star Wars because I'm assuming everyone says Star Wars. Last Starfighter. Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, even though it's more of a comedy than a sci-fi movie.
Well, it's the one with the whales, and you're from Wales, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And Forbidden Planet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big fan of Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball your way here. Top 3 coming-of-age films.
Don't really watch many coming-of-age movies.
And those can for all three of them? This one can cross genres if you want.
Coming of age. Does Karate Kid count as a coming of age movie?
Sure.
Okay, Karate Kid 1. Stand By Me, because it's the most obvious one. And probably The Lost Boys.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Top 3 Stephen King films.
Ooh, can this include miniseries as well?
Sure. Top 3 Stephen King properties. How's that?
Okay, right. The Shining scared the shit out of me as a child. Still creeps me out now, even though Stephen King hates it. Mick Garris's 1994 version of The Stand, which I have watched more times than I can even count. And I'd probably say Storm of the Century.
Nice. Deep cut.
Yeah.
Colm Fiore is phenomenal in that.
Yes.
Oh my God, is he good in that? And when
not
you
even
said,
based on a book.
Yeah. when you said The Stand, which is my favorite novel from Stephen King, I do like that miniseries as well. But the first line that pops into my head every time I think of that is when Flagg introduces himself to Lloyd in the jail, and he's like, "Hey, pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name."
Yeah.
What? Sorry. Personal reference. You know what I mean? It's just it's so good.
And he does the thing with the stone and in his hand just doubles backwards. Yep. It's so weird.
But I just love the whole pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. Okay, top 3 horror films.
Dawn of the Dead, The Thing, and Alien.
Nice. Those are good answers, sir. You passed the first test. Okay, let's get back in the comments before I get into the next one here. Words and Pictures says, "Hey Pete, I'm from London. Maybe the Cineworld Cardiff 4DX counts? What do you think? 4DX is a multi-sensory experience, moving chairs sense when rain used to enhance the movie-going experience. Do they have that?
We've got 4DX in Cardiff. I don't want a multi-sensory experience when I watch a film. I want to watch the film, not feel air on the back of my legs or be shaking around in a chair. Right. I want to sit there and watch the movie, which is why I don't go to cinemas anymore. Right. So I watch everything on my TV.
Well, when he just mentioned that 4DX, because I know that's the big thing. Have you ever seen the Kentucky Fried movie?
Yeah.
When I hear about that 4DX, I think about that skit in the Kentucky Fried movie where it's in Feel-O-Rama.
Yeah.
And the usher standing behind them, acting out the movie, slapping them, doing this. And then our next feature, Deep Throat. He just looks up at the guy and takes off running. Yeah, that's what I think about the 4DX. That, and could you imagine when Final Destination Bloodlines came out? There was somebody down in, I think it was Colombia or Venezuela or something. The damn roof collapsed during the showing of the film. Nobody was killed. Okay, nobody was hurt, but part of the actual roof collapsed during the showing of that film. And I'm thinking to myself when I read that story, was that a 4DX showing? Because if it was, those people got more than they bargained for, man. I mean, you can't make that shit up, but it really happened. I mean, It's pretty wild. Let's see what else we got here. Johnny Carrot Head. Hi, peeps. How you doing, Johnny? Thank you so much for being here. John the Movie Man. Hi, Pete. Thank you. How many screenplays have you written? Have you met with? I haven't written any screenplays
I've written a few.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
So I guess that question's for you then.
I have written 3 full-length movies and 2 pilot episodes for TV shows. I haven't met with anyone because they're all rubbish.
Oh, okay. You haven't gotten a Netflix deal?
No. They call
Netflix deal. Come on now. Favorite scenes in The Long Good Friday? The whole damn movie.
I haven't seen that film in a very, very long time, so I can't remember much about it. All I remember is the people hanging upside down in the meat locker with Bob Hoskins. That's it.
Favorite shoreside snacks when visiting the sea and the shore? Obviously, that's for you because I'm landlocked. I live in Wisconsin.
I don't go to the beach. There's people at the beach. I don't like people. So
you sound like Randall in Clerks. You hate people, but I love gatherings.
I don't go to the beach. It's a 20-minute train ride from my flat to the beach, but that's 20 minutes I could be sat here watching a movie or something.
Gotcha.
Instead of getting sand in my shoes.
Yeah. Favorite snacks? I'm surprised I don't have friggin' diabetes yet because I'm a chocolate nut. I could eat an entire bag of those little Twix bars in one setting. I mean, I've done it. My wife just sits there and looks at me and says, "What the hell?" THC is a hell of a drug. Larry's here. Hey, how you doing, Larry? And speaking of Larry, Larry will be my guest because I'm a whore. I'm going to plug it right now. In 2 weeks from today on episode 19, Larry the Whorecat Dad will be my very special guest. So hopefully everybody will tune in 2 weeks from then and welcome Larry as you are welcoming my good friend Pete here. Would Monster Squad count as a coming of age film? Why not?
Yeah.
It would count as one just as much as The Lost Boys or The Goonies even, you know, I mean, it's got to do with kids. So, yeah. And the irony. Some famous movie stars still banned from China. China bans everybody. Ollie's here. Hey, Ollie, how you doing, buddy? Hey, guys, just stopping by quickly. Need to prepare for the quiz on Monday. Will be interesting to see how you do going head-to-head with each other. Yeah, that's how me and Pete originally hooked up, was through Ollie here. He does a weekly live stream on Mondays. Same time as this one right here, 1 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock UK time. So please tune into Ollie and fuck with me and Pete. Let's see here. Barry is here as always. That's what is called the Munchies. Oh, believe me, I know what it's called, my friend. But thank you so much for being here. Okay, we're going to play the second game of the day, and I love this one. And some people sweat. I think you'll love this one, okay? Mm-hmm. I call it overrated, underrated. Where you pick a movie that everybody loves, and you don't necessarily have to hate it, but you just think it's overrated as hell. And the reverse of that is a film that you love, and most people think it's a piece of crap. And again, you don't necessarily have to think that it's a great movie, but you think that it's underrated as hell. So if you need a moment to think about that, go ahead.
Overrated. How long have I got?
I'm going to give you a time later on for your hot takes. So bear that in mind as well.
So overrated, Fight Club, 100% Fight Club. Don't see the love in it. It's well directed by David Fincher. That's about it. That's all I get from it. Another massively overrated movie is Big Lebowski. Again, another film I don't get. I'm not a Coen Brothers person. I know people love it. Just think it's massively overrated. One more. Let me think of one more overrated movie.
Ooh. I knew you'd love this game.
Probably some of the classics, like Citizen Kane. But that's a cop out because everyone will be like,
yeah, Ollie. That was his. He was like,
yeah. So I'm not choosing that. What was a film that I really dislike, or I think is underrated? There's a lot. I like a lot of bad movies.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite films is my comedies. Like I said, is Biodome.
Yeah.
It's a massively underrated movie. But I think films that haven't got their dues yet are Tank Girl, because I think that is probably one of the better 90s comic book adaptations.
Yeah. That's definitely a cult film.
Yeah, banger of a soundtrack as well. I think Ronin as well, like I said, is hugely underrated.
Yeah, Ronin's
considering
great.
It was the last but one full narrative feature film that John Frankenheimer made.
Yeah. I knew you weren't talking about Dr. Moreau.
No,
which I don't blame him for that. That movie was cursed from the get-go. So
he was a director for hire on that. So it's not his fault.
And I actually like reindeer games, and people piss all over reindeer games.
Reindeer
games. I fucking love reindeer games. I don't care who knows it. So
Charlize Theron is hot in that movie.
The movie's got one of the greatest casts ever. I mean, it's just banger after banger of character actor in that movie. So
to be fair, anything with Gary Sinise is worth watching.
Yep, Clarence Williams III. That's fucking Link from My Squad.
I think the movie Passengers is underrated.
Passengers, I liked the first half of that movie. As soon as he woke her ass up, that's when I started hating him. And for the first half of the movie, I really liked him. And yeah, I maybe I need to watch it again because I only saw it once. I just remember the first half I really enjoyed, and then as soon as he woke her ass up and she found out about it, of course, it was like, oh, this is not good. Because you go from rooting for the guy to thinking this guy. I mean, I understand loneliness and everything else, but at the end of the day, that guy's a prick.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But if I woke up 90 years early and I was the only one that woke up and Jennifer Lawrence was in another pod and I was able to find a way to wake her up, I would do exactly the same thing. Yeah.
You're an evil guy, man. But no, that's good though. I love this sort of shit when we get stuff like this, because I never in a million years thought I would be talking about Passengers today. So that's awesome. All right, real quickly, let's get back into comments real quick. Caveman's here. Hey, Caveman, thank you so much. Hit the like and subscribe. Barry, evening lads. No, Barry, always, it's so awesome that you're here. Saying hello to Ali. Okay, words and pictures. If you do send off any of your screenplay scripts, send a storyboard to accompaniment. There are programs that will visualize your work. Yeah, visual aids are always good when you're talking to executives, because most of them aren't very bright.
No.
Lebowski, overrated? Blasphemous. Actually, I didn't like Lebowski the first time I saw it, but I do like it now. But I'm not a big Coen Brothers fan either. And every time I say that, people give me the stink eye,
Yeah.
And we'll get into that too, because later on I'm going to ask you about certain directors.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain directors that people just adore, and I just think are overrated or pompous, or we'll get into it. So no, it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to that.
I was going to talk to Ali about this a couple of weeks ago, but I thought I'd give him a stroke. So, Okay, movie showdown for Jim and Pete. Best thrills and rewatch. Runaway, Near Dark, Breakdown, The Package, American Gothic. See, that's apples and oranges on a lot of those, Stacy. Because to me, you've got a science fiction film, a horror film, an action film, and another horror film. But out of all those, Near Dark is the best.
See, I prefer Breakdown. I was going
to say Breakdown will be number 2.
Yeah. Runaway is fun, but I wouldn't put it in a...
It's cheesy fun.
Yeah.
And The Package is okay. It's not Andrew Davis's best movie. It's far from his worst. So, it's right there in the middle. American Gothic, I've seen. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it.
I remember the video artwork for
Rod Steiger in that one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see here. Everybody saying hello back and forth. Oh, boy. There he is. Hello, Gareth. And Gareth, you did a great job the other day with Zucker. He had David Zucker. He did an interview with him, and
cool.
It was great. It was a great. So when you guys are done watching this, head over to Gareth's channel and check that out, because it's a really good interview. Let's see here. 15 watches, only 6 likes, double, whatever. Thank you, Caveman, but it's all good, my friend. I'm happy if even one person shows up, so it's all good. Larry says, I was the same way. Didn't like Lebowski the first time around as well. Yeah, it's just one of those movies, Agreed about Near Dark. Yeah, Near Dark's great. And it's never gotten a proper release over here in the States. It just hasn't, and it pisses me off. If I could get one movie on Blu-ray, that would be the one.
It's out of print in the UK now on Blu-ray.
It's out of. They had it originally here. I don't know, 15 years ago, and the cover artwork is the worst ever. It looks like something out of fucking Twilight.
Yeah,
it is just so bad, UK. Man.
I don't know. I thought my DVD copy was under my TV. Oh yeah, hang on.
Nice. I used to have that. And that's like the best edition they ever put out for that movie here in the States. That Anchor
when Anchor Bay were doing really good stuff.
Yeah. Anchor Bay.
Got bought by Stars.
When Anchor Bay would release like 25 versions of the Evil Dead.
Yes.
The Necronomicon version. The new Necronomicon version. Okay, we're going to play another game. This one is called Best Decade. And you could go all the way back to the beginning golden age of film, silent movie era to today. But I am going to give you a genre of film, and you're going to tell me what decade you think is the best for that
Oh, okay.
particular genre. Okay. So, in your opinion, what is the best decade for comedy films and why? Give some examples, in other words.
So, even though I was born early 80s, 1983, I'm more like a 90s kid, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say 90s for me personally is my favorite decade for comedies. It was when Adam Sandler started, so things like Happy Gilmore and I can't even remember. My head's gone switched off now.
Yeah, American Pie.
Yeah, American Pie, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, like those type of comedy movies, like the teen comedies, like Can't Hardly Wait as well, were really big things for me as a teenager. Wasn't really huge into the 80s comedies until I got a little bit older. So when I like discovered things like Police Academy, I love the Police Academy movies. Like Clue is one of my favorite comedies of all time. But yeah, so it was the 90s, I think, for me was where I discovered a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
That was sort of my sense of humor, which is weird because I grew up on Monty Python as well. So, like,
no, you can love comedies or movies from every decade, but the question is what's your best? So, yeah, it's fair enough. Okay. Best decade for action films, and we're talking straight action.
So it's gonna have to be the 80s because that's where it came from. That's where the big, huge explosion, muscle-bound badass came from. But also not just the big three, Arnold, Bruce, and Sly, but you've also got the Hong Kong action as well. Mm-hmm. So John Woo stuff from like A Better Tomorrow, The Killer, which was 89, Bullet to the Head, those type of movies as well that showed the West that action can be done a different way and still hit the same beats as, say, something like Commando or something like Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say the 80s is probably my favorite decade for action. They're the ones I watch more.
Yeah.
But then the 90s had some good ones as well, like Face Off and Broken Arrow, and which coincidentally are both John Woo movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the 80s for action.
Yeah. This one we'll see how you go here. Best decade for drama.
I don't watch drama movies.
See, that's what I thought you were going to say. So that's why I threw that one in there. Okay. He's going to say the same thing with this one. Best decade for family films. And that can include animated or not.
I'm going with the 80s again.
Okay.
For the simple fact that anything that was basically a PG is a family film. So The Goonies, Last Starfighter, Boy Who Could Fly, War Games. These are films, Teen Wolf 2. These are films that I watched when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I class as family movies, even though a lot of them will sit into different genres as well. So like Last Starfighter is in sci-fi, Goonies is adventure. But in the UK, Indiana Jones, that would have been classed as a family film because it was a PG. Star Wars would have been classed as a family film because it was a PG. But then there's 1989, you've got Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, another great family film, randomly written by two people you would not expect to have written that movie.
Stuart Gordon.
And Brian Newsman.
You're waiting for like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then they came flying out of my intestinal tract like in Reanimator or some shit, you know?
It's like, let's make From Beyond and follow it up with a Rick Moranis family movie.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see From Beyond and Reanimator at the theater when it came out. Oh, God, I love both of those movies dearly for different reasons. This one might be tricky. Best decade for sci-fi.
80s.
Really? Okay.
80s. Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, The Last Starfighter, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. The list goes on. E.T., The Thing. No. You can throw The Thing in there.
No.
They Live.
most people usually go 70s for some reason.
No,
because they go for like
70s was a
the more
decade of
elevated
sci-fi.
the sci-fi with ideas instead of the sci-fi, blah blah blah, and it's like, whatever. Because that's okay. Now this one, I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say, but again, it could go either way. Horror.
I like 80s I like 80s horror movies. I also like old British black and white horror movies. But again, like comedies, I was really introduced to horror in the 90s. So I would say with the slasher boom in the 90s probably would be my preferred era. So things like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legends, those type of movies were the ones that I grew up on. So those are the ones that I tend to go back to more. However, most of my favorite horror movies across decades.
Yeah.
So Dawn of the Dead, Evil Dead, like Scream, there's 30 years there.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still gonna say the 90s because it's the films that introduced me to the genre.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I always go with the 80s because of the practical effects.
Yeah.
That alone is like enough to seal the deal for me. But again, I grew up with those films. I went to the cinema and grew up watching a steady diet of slasher films, for like a 3-year period in the early 80s when I was like 13. Dude, they were 1, 2, 3 a week. It was just every week they were coming out left and right. All right. Real quickly before we get up here, because I'm missing lots of comments, because every time that we talk about this sort of thing, we get a lot of comments. So let's go back here real quick. Barry says Coen brothers make shite films for me. Again, I don't dislike the Coen brothers. I just think they're overrated. I don't like everything. Put it this way. Of the films of theirs I've seen, they're at about a 50% rate, whether or not I like them or not. So.
Yeah, same.
Hi, Jim. Hope you're all good. Thank you, Adam. Stanley can't watch the stream, just swinging by quickly to say hello and hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great stream. See you next. No problem at all, Adam. Thank you so much. And Johnny says, I remember all the pretentious movie nerds screaming over Fight Club when it came out. Ugh, was insufferable. See, now that over here in the States, Fight Club was a friggin' flop, man. I mean, it was a flop, and the critics hated it. I saw it and I didn't know what the hell to think about it. I didn't know what I was watching, Yeah. And then it was kind of stuck in my head for a couple of days. And then I went back and I saw it again and it clicked. Now I'm not obsessed with it like some of these yahoos. Okay. I see it for what it is. It's a fucking comedy. Okay. But I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. But again, it's not my favorite film or anything like that. So Tommy Boy. Yeah, I love Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy's great. Caveman, subscribe to you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Next guest star is Larry. Yes, it is. Larry says 80s for drama. But Pete wouldn't know that because he doesn't watch drama. Flight of the Navigator. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Cracking movie.
I haven't seen it in years, but it's a good movie. The Goonies. Mike is here. Hello, Mike. Thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Hi, Mike.
Larry, especially Return of the Jedi. Harry and the Hendersons. Labyrinth. You know what? Speaking of Harry and the Hendersons, here's a fucking hot take for you. I'm on Blue Sky. Okay. Some guy just randomly posted the other day. Maybe it's because I grew up watching comedies or Third Rock of the Sun, but every time I think John Lithgow is a horrible dramatic actor because of his face. And I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? And I did. I started rattling off about 20 different movies that he's in that he's fantastic in.
Blowout.
And it's like, yeah, Blowout was at the top of the list. I mean, it's like, Dexter. The 4th season of Dexter, he's phenomenal in that, but yeah, I couldn't believe that when this guy said that shit. Tron, Predator. Friggin' Blade Runner. American Pies has lots and lots and lots of sequels. Yes, you are correct. 2000s for War, but that's when I went heavy into Eastern stuff, and their stuff's mega.
Ooh, war. I'd say if I was choosing a decade, it'd be the 60s.
For war films, I would go with the 70s. I love. There's a couple from the 70s that I absolutely love, and the top of the list is The Boys and Company C. Fucking love that movie. 50 and 80 sci-fi, the best decades.
I actually agree with that.
Pedro, discuss Eve of Destruction. Have you seen Eve of Destruction?
I own Eve of Destruction. I've
I
seen
knew
it
you
once.
would, because no, every time that movie comes up, people are like, "What?" Yeah, Gregory Hines.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in years.
me neither.
Raising Cain with John Lithgow. Yeah, I don't like that movie, but I love Lithgow in it. And I'm a big Brian De Palma fan, but Raising Cain's just kind of, it's out there, man. Okay. Now, we've already established that you don't go to the theater a lot.
No.
But have you seen any movies from this year yet released?
I have, just haven't watched them in the cinema.
Okay. So, good. Then I can ask you, so far this year, what is the best and worst film you've seen that was released this year?
Worst film I've seen so far this year is 28 Years Later.
Okay. And why?
Because it's terrible. It's badly made. It's badly acted. There are it's boring. There's zombie dick everywhere. There's it's got bullet time arrow shots that feel out of place in a Danny Boyle movie and feel more like they belong in Uwe Boll's House of the Dead.
Yeah.
And the ending with the Jimmy Savile group is just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it, which is very odd because I generally like Danny Boyle movies, and Alex Garland did Civil War last year, which was one of my top 5 films of last year.
Mine as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic movie. And then they give us this crap. Best film I've seen this year. I've been disappointed with a lot of movies. Like I watched the last Mission Impossible, and that really disappointed me.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Ballerina was okay. Hang on, I'm gonna consult my letterbox.
I was gonna say, hold on a second. I got a list of everything right here that I've actually seen this year. Okay, and I'll just read them off, and you can just tell me whether you liked them or not. We'll go that route. Okay. Sinners.
Oh, fucking hell! Sinners is the best film I've seen this year.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, Sinners is right up at the top of the list for me as well. Okay. I don't think you've seen Cheech and Chong's last movie, which is a documentary.
Yeah, no.
The Monkey.
No, I haven't seen it. It's on Paramount Plus, I think, at the moment, or it might be Netflix, one of them.
Very entertaining film. I highly recommend it. It's fun. Okay, it's not scary. It's fun. All right. Novocaine.
No, never, not watched it.
Very fun movie. Captain America: Brave New World.
I watched 20 minutes of it and then went, nah.
It's crap. Companion.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Again, I would highly recommend that as well. Death of a Unicorn.
No, not seen it. That had a very limited release in the UK.
Yeah, I watched all these. I watched online in an illegal way. Until Dawn.
No, I haven't. But I played the game that it was based on.
The game is better than the movie. Although the movie, again, it's fun. It's not great, and it has nothing to do with the game. Well, I shouldn't say that. The last shot of the movie has something to do with the game. Final Destination: Bloodlines.
Haven't seen it yet. I will be watching it, though.
Mickey 17.
Nope.
Predator: Killer of Killers.
Nope.
Thunderbolts.
Nope.
Ballerina, you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Dangerous Animals.
Don't know what that is.
That's where Jai Courtney, of all people, who I've never liked, but he's
awesome.
awesome. The serial killer uses sharks.
I remember the trailer now.
Yeah, that movie's fun. That movie's a lot of fun.
Cool.
Life of Chuck.
I'm waiting to see that.
Yeah, that one and Sinners are tied right now for movie of the year for me. Um, 28 years later, we just talked about The Amateur.
I haven't seen it. It's one that's on Disney Plus, so I might watch it.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
Superman.
Not yet. Looking forward to checking that one out.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I already asked you before showtime about weapons. You haven't seen that yet. F1.
Nope.
Okay. You know what? I had zero desire to see that film when it was released. And my buddy Sean, that I do the webcast with, he went and saw it, and he said that it was one of the funnest times he had in the theater this year. So I was like, okay. Well, then when it showed up on that service that I watch all my illegal movies on, I figured, screw it. I'll watch the beginning of it. And if I like it, and I ended up watching the whole movie, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's one of those movies that you kind of forget about 10 minutes after it's over. But while you're watching it,
it's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable, so, and this is coming from a guy who does not like racing in any way, shape, or form. I think Days of Thunder is a piece of shit, and everybody loves that movie. And I'm like, it's Top Gun in a fucking race car. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, okay. And The Naked Gun, you haven't seen yet.
I haven't watched it yet.
Piece of shit. Sorry, Ollie, if you're still watching. That is my worst movie of the year so far. It is. It's just god awful. Hated it. Okay, let's see here real quickly. Let's get back in the comments. So Sinners would be your favorite.
Yeah, Sinners it blew my mind. Another one I saw this year, actually, which I really liked, was The Gorge.
I didn't write that on my list because that's basically all, theatrical films. But yeah, I did enjoy The Gorge.
I like The Gorge.
I enjoyed The Gorge quite a bit. And the guys that made The Gorge, Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill, he writes them. Every time those guys make a movie together, it's gold. They got the Black Phone 2 coming out, which looks creepy as hell, man. I mean, it looks like a Friday or a Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff, but it still looks awesome. So
it's Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, I watch in anything.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here really quickly, making sure I'm not missing anything. Oh yeah, I'm missing a lot. Some of this stuff is pretty good. So I'm just going up to where we were. Okay. Barry says, seen Fight Club that was enough. Melina, 1960s song, Evil Destruction. Yeah, from Bob Dylan.
Which is played in The Stand.
Yeah.
By Adam Stork.
Larry likes your zombie dick everywhere comment. That's the one that made me laugh. The Horcat Dad, it's a load of nonsense, mate. Easter Condors is my favorite war film, a masterpiece. I've never heard of that, Barry. Is that a British film or?
Is that the Jackie Chan movie? Armor of God, Eastern Condors?
No, never. No idea. I'll have to look into that. Oh. And then we've got Mr. Dan is here. Hello, Dan. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Larry says, yeah, definitely overhyped for me with Fight Club. Enjoyed Monkey over Sinners. See, now, Larry, that's where I would agree with you. I enjoyed Monkey. The Monkey is like the funnest time I've had watching a movie this year. Okay. So if you were going to go favorite, I would say The Monkey is probably still number one, but Sinners is a better movie. It just is. So that's why I have to put Sinners above it. I have to. Wow, I forgot Captain America came out this year. Yeah, that movie sucked. It really did. And I was actually hoping it was going to be decent because Anthony Mackie deserved better. And Harrison Ford, I don't know what the fuck he was doing in that movie.
Money.
I'm just talking performance wise. You could tell he just didn't give a fuck. I mean,
Well, he's getting paid, isn't he? He's Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Let's see here. Kenny and Company is a great coming of age film. Isn't that the one directed by Sean Cunningham, Dan? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. Bloodlines enjoyed. Yeah, Bloodlines is a lot of fun. People saying hello back and forth. Texas says, I have never seen Days of Thunder and I could care less. Yeah, Days of Thunder is a piece of shit. I don't care what anybody says. How about The Wizard of Oz? They just had at the Sphere with an actual tornado and flying monkeys. I hate The Wizard of Oz. I hate that movie. That's when you talk overrated, overrated, underrated. That's top of the list for me. Is overrated. I fucking hate that movie. But that's just me. I'm afraid of flying monkeys. So no wonder I don't watch new films anymore. That list sounds awful. Barry, believe it or not, about half of those movies are actually really good. The rest of them are pretty much meh. I mean, there was only like 2 or 3 movies on there that I would say were really bad, in my opinion. Naked Gun. Okay, I shouldn't. If I say Sinners is better than The Monkey, I shouldn't say The Naked Gun was worse than Ash. Have you seen Ash?
No.
It's a science fiction
Flying
horror.
Lotus movie.
Science fiction horror movie with Aaron Paul and
Yeah, I know the
Ana
one.
de Armas or whatever her name is, or no, that's ballerina.
Isa Gonzalez. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. Iko Uwais is in that. I love the Raid movies, so I was like, awesome. And what a piece of shit! I barely made it through it. So, maybe Jurassic Park Rebirth. I forgot about that one. I turned that one off halfway into it.
I haven't even attempted.
Could not make it through it. So I guess technically, because I watched all of The Naked Gun, those 2 movies are worse. I don't know. The best thing about The Naked Gun movie, believe it or not, is the credits. The way that movie ends to go into the credits, it's actually pretty damn clever. And I was like, wow, okay, why wasn't the rest of the movie this good? But yeah. What would you be as a movie producer, Jim? Would you be more of an executive call me from Wisconsin type where you settle issues from the sets from there? And Pete would be more hands-on. I've never been on a movie set. I would love to be on a movie set. I would be a hands-on producer, but I would let the director do his thing.
Yeah, same.
80s war films include Vietnam films like Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, Das Boot, Glory, Born on the 4th of July. Yeah, I got them all on my shelf. Let's see here. More 80s. Come and See and The Killing Field. I have Killing Fields I've seen. I haven't seen Come and See yet. I heard that movie was really good. I've got D+ and just skipped past Captain America so many times, not seen it yet. Oh, Disney+. Director of Phantasm for Kenny and Company. That's right, Texas. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. Yeah, I got it mixed up with Sean Cunningham.
Yeah.
Mike, oops, sorry. Oh, my good buddy Daniel's here all the way from Sweden. How you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope you're feeling better, Daniel. I know you're going through some medical stuff. Anytime you want to talk, just reach out, bud. Stacy, do you like Gotcha?
I've never seen it. It's never been available in the UK.
Yeah, I saw it 40 years ago when it came out. I don't remember it, to be honest. Hate it more than Dirty Dancing, Jim. They're tied. Larry. No, Dirty Dancing irritates me. I hate the Wizard of Oz. So yeah, I do hate it more than Dirty Dancing. Let's see here. Okay, Sammo Hung film, Hong Kong.
Eastern Condors.
Right. All right. Cool. I'm going to check into that, Barry. Thank you. Those monkeys are creepy in Oz. Yeah, they are, man. I saw that shit when I was a little kid on TV, and it scared the shit out of me. And ever since, I've never even watched Wicked. I'm like, fuck that shit. Then again, I don't like musicals either. So, assemble a great cast for a new sci-fi movie, and you can use any people all time at any age. I want the cast of Sneakers to redo Star Trek. Because that's a pretty damn good cast.
That is a good cast. Where are you? Assemble a cast for a new sci-fi movie. You can use any people, all time at any age. I would probably remake Black Hole with the cast of the original Star Trek series, but also make it a Star Trek movie and not call it Black. Just make a Star Trek movie.
I thought you were going to say remake the Black Hole with the cast of Friends.
That's a genius idea. Or all of them are puppets except for one person.
Who's playing Maximilian?
Be like Muppet Christmas Carol, but a sci-fi movie.
Daniel says, watch the Thunderbolts and it was really bad, but the final 30 minutes were good. Yeah, I put it this way. I don't think the Thunderbolts was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it was better than everything else Marvel's put out in the last couple of years, you know? So, and I have not seen Fantastic Four, so I don't know about that one. Favorite David Strathairn performance? Sneakers. Hands down.
I've seen him in anything other than Sneakers and Alphas. That's pretty much it.
Born Supremacy or the Born Identity movies.
I forgot he was even in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love him in Sneakers because at the time when Sneakers came out, he was the only one in the main cast that I had never seen before. And he stole the fucking movie from everybody. And when you can steal a movie from Aykroyd, Robert Redford, River Phoenix, Sidney Poitier, James Earl Jones, I mean, the cast is stacked. And he does. He steals every scene he's in. Hands on, I thought you were going to say something else there. Get your mind out of the gutter, Barry. Total Recall with cast from Police Academy.
That's a genius idea.
Mahoney. That was a good one, Larry. Okay. I've already mentioned that when I was a kid, I loved going to the drive-in. Okay. In addition to just being outside, there's nothing like seeing a movie outside. Or it's just your, you know, with the shitty speakers, it's just an experience. Okay. But the other thing that I loved about those movies or going to those drive-ins was the exploitation drive-in type films. Yeah. I'm talking like Corman and AIP and some of those B movies that I know you love. Okay. Because we've talked about this on Ali's channel. So let's talk exploitation a little bit. Okay. Is there any kind of like subgenre in the exploitation type field that you prefer that's like your go-to? You know, like for instance, I love like those bad sci-fi dystopian type movies like Death Race 2000, you know, shit like that. You know, that's my go-to. What about you? Do you have something?
Yeah, I'm the same because my favorite subgenre of sci-fi is post-apocalyptic movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily exploitation, I guess, but you could say it is. But when the Road Warrior came out, and
that's exploitation.
Yeah, every country then, most specifically the Philippines, just produced the most cheap, sleazy rip-offs of Mad Max throughout the 80s. Most of them were produced by Roger Corman. Ciro H. Santiago, I think the director's name was, and he made things like is it Hell on Wheels or Wheels of Fire and things like that. So I like that aspect, but my favorite genre of exploitation is the Nazi exploitation movies.
Oh,
like
Ilsa,
She-Wolf of the SS, because they're like Carry On movies.
Yeah,
that we had in the UK, just slightly more tits in it. But yeah,
more tits.
I like them because they're ridiculously camp and just silly and over the top. Unlike something that you get from Japan, which was a little bit more fucked up and a bit more serious. But then, would you class that as exploitation? But I'm a Roger Corman nerd, so it's his sci-fi stuff that I basically beeline for every time. I
see a Terror
movie. So Last Woman on Earth, awful movie, written by and starring Robert Towne as well, who went on and wrote Chinatown, for fuck's sake, one of the greatest screenplays of all time. That was the Attack of the Killer Leeches, the Killer Shrews. These are the AIP stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably the really cheap sci-fi monster movies. I mean, I remember watching Day the World Ended.
Yeah.
Like when I was maybe about 8 or 9, and I was ill, and my mum had us up like downstairs in the house, and we would put on one of the TV channels, and I remember watching The Day the World Ended on that 24-inch black and white TV. Makes me sound like I was born in the 1960s, but
I was.
I know.
I was.
But ever since then, that's the type of film that has always stuck with me. So every now and then I'll go back and I'll watch like the B movies and the exploitation stuff. But that's my thing. I'm a Corman nerd, so I'll go for that stuff.
Yeah, no, you won't find a bigger Corman fan than me. I fucking adore that man.
Yes.
I've been saying for years, even if you don't like his films or the films that came from his studio, that man is directly responsible for like half of Hollywood at one particular time. And we're talking giants of the industry that never would have gotten a start without Roger Corman, you know?
100%.
And he basically just said, here's a certain amount of money, here's a certain amount of time, bring it in on time, under budget, and every 10 minutes, I want a car crash or a pair of tits.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. And give me the title of the movie. You know, is it something I can put on a marquee? And yeah, I love that man. Love
like
it.
He made probably a film. I tell you, a film that is massively underrated. Going back to the other question, is the movie The Intruder with William Shatner.
Yeah,
the Roger Corman directed, which he couldn't get funding for from any studio, so he paid for it himself. That is a phenomenal movie, and it's one that is never ever brought up when people talk about films about race in the States, in the South and stuff.
Very controversial film at the time.
Yeah, Shatner's performance in that is fantastic, and
probably his best. It's probably Shatner's best performance.
Agreed. And that is never talked about when people talk about Roger Corman movies. They always talk about the like Galaxy of Terror and
Humanoids
Battle Beyond the Stars and stuff like that. They never talk about the stuff that he put his personality into and put actual effort into, if you know what I mean. But he was a fucking good director as well. Visually, he's a great director as well as a really good producer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I said, I mean, I shed a tear when he died. I really did. And like I said, that guy was just a titan in the industry, which again, a lot of people are like, you know, it's just a bunch of schlock. And it's like, no, it's not. Pan through that shit and you'll find some gold. A lot of it, you know. They say the same thing about Larry Cohen, you know, when he was alive.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just a, you know, crap director, B movie director and shit. And it's like, no, go back and look at some of those movies and they're great. They really are. Even the crap ones are still done in a certain guerrilla style that is just lost, you know. Q, the Winged Serpent.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie. It's ridiculous. Okay. Michael Moriarty gives one of the greatest performances in history in that movie, but you can tell when they're making that movie, it's just run and gun. There's no permits. They're just running around with a camera and filming shit, you know?
Yeah. But they're never held in the same regard as people like maybe William Friedkin, who did the same thing, run and gun style on French Connection.
Yep.
But then also, without Roger Corman, you wouldn't have Martin Scorsese or Robert De Niro as an actor. But then you wouldn't have Robert De Niro as an actor without Brian De Palma.
Yep.
So
you wouldn't have Jack Nicholson. You wouldn't have Jonathan Demme, Ron Howard. You know, he gave Ron Howard his first directing break.
He did.
You know?
Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
Yeah.
Said, you appear and eat my dust and I'll let you direct a film. And he did. And Grand Theft Auto is actually a very fun movie. I like that movie.
I quite enjoy it as well.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I knew you like these exploitation movies like I do, but you know, the Ilsa thing, Kino is bringing that out on 4K.
I've seen,
And me and my buddy Texas, who was in the, I mean, they announced that shit a year ago, and me and Texas for months have been like, when is fucking Ilsa coming out? And now it's finally coming out in September, I believe, later this month, like at the end of this month or something. But yeah, real here. Oh no, we already gave the Smut Master something here. Let's see here. Okay, Daniel says, I am so tired of all the remakes all the time, and the Running Man looks like so much crap. Okay,
The Running Man looked fantastic.
here's where, yeah, I was going to say, I love Daniel. Okay, but here's where I'm going to disagree with you, Daniel, because when I saw that trailer, I saw the original source material. I didn't see a remake of the Schwarzenegger film. And the Schwarzenegger film, I love. It's got nothing to do with that original book from Stephen King. It doesn't. This new version, it appears it does. So to me, it's not a remake. If anything, it's not even a reimagining. You could say that the Schwarzenegger movie is a reimagining of the Running Man, and this one is the real one. Now, again, I'm going to hold off judgment until it comes out, but it's Edgar Wright. So that alone, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I have yet to see an Edgar Wright movie that I did not like. You know, I still haven't watched Scott Pilgrim. That's the only one I haven't watched yet. I'm kind of holding off on that one. But every other movie I've seen Edgar Wright do, I've loved. So have you ever read The Running Man, the book?
I haven't, no, but I know it's the story is very different to what was originally, well, what the Schwarzenegger film is like.
Yeah, like I said, the Schwarzenegger, outside of the name of the characters, that is the only thing that is lifted from that story. I mean, the reality TV shit, he wrote that shit years before reality TV started.
Yeah.
None of that was happening. I mean, and what's funny is The Running Man, when it came out, it wasn't even a spoof of reality TV. It was a spoof of like game shows. And American Gladiators had just come out around that time. So it was kind of like a parody of that shit, you know, but whatever. I love The Running Man. I do. But I'm looking forward to the new one. I really am. You couldn't pay me to watch any of that Marvel DC crap. Yeah, we know, Barry. You're too busy watching Steven Seagal. We all know what else you were doing at the drive-in, Jim. Getting your mom. Never mind. Let's see. Me and Barry go back and forth all the time. Not to be basic, but man, Galaxy of Terror is awesomely made, in my opinion.
It is.
I own it. And Forbidden World, okay, because they use the same sets. I mean, they're very similar films. The only reason why I bought those two films, I hate to admit it, is because of the steel books that they came in. I love the artwork. I don't really care for either one of those movies. I mean, they're fun, but you know, I'm not a huge fan of those. I'm more of a Humanoids from the Deep guy, you know, or Battle Beyond the Stars. That's my jam. I saw that when I was 13 at the theater. I saw that before I saw Magnificent Seven, you know, so hoping The Running Man will be good. Yeah, me too. Scott Pilgrim is fun, Jim. Got Superman and Captain America playing douches in that film.
True. It is a good film. It does
have a hell of a cast. I know that. I had no clue. Still looks like crap to me. There you go, Daniel. Go down with your convictions, buddy. No, I love Daniel, man. He's one of my nearest and dearest friends on YouTube. He really is. Oh, Sarah's here. Hello, Sarah. I got my gift from my mom and dad. Oh, awesome. Was it your birthday? Because if it was, happy birthday. Or maybe they just gave you a gift because, you know, you're a wonderful person. All right, here we go. The continuation of the underrated, overrated. I'm going to give you as long as you want. We're going to call this Hot Take.
Hot Take.
Where you can just rant and rave about anything movie related that you want. As far as remakes suck, Hollywood sucks, whatever, okay? But it's got to be something that some people would be like, what? I don't agree with that. That's why it's a hot take, you know? So, like, for instance, Barry, okay, just said that he would never watch a Marvel film, okay? Now, some people would consider that a hot take. I wouldn't, okay? But it is what it is. Come up with something that you just, you know, like I said, my hot take is always like, I hate remakes and I hate sequels, but there are certain sequels to classic films that I prefer to the originals. For instance, And this is where I always get in trouble. I prefer to watch 2010 than 2001. I prefer to watch Blade Runner 2049 to Blade Runner. And I definitely prefer to watch Doctor Sleep to The Shining. And that's normally where I get yelled at. That would be my hot take.
My hot take. I'm trying to think of something I've ranted about before. Actually put me on the spot a little bit. This is really difficult.
He's like, bastard, I thought you said this was going to be fun. Come on, man. I've heard you rant on Ollie's show.
Yeah, but I can't remember what I ranted about now.
So, did you like that Mortal Kombat movie?
Shit, I did say I hate that. Okay, let me.
So you already went on the 28 days later or 28 years later thing. I should have made you hold off on that one with the zombie dick because that one was great. Because a lot of people love that movie. I remember when that movie came out, people were like, "It's worthy of the original," and this and that. And I felt the same way you did, to be honest.
Yeah, I could go off on that. That whole series just doesn't do anything. I'm a zombie movie nut. Mm-hmm. Like I've watched some of the shittest zombie movies that have ever been made, from the shot on video in someone's backyard zombie movies to the World War Z, another film which is a fucking waste of time.
Yes.
But the 28, ever since the first one, I saw the first one in 2003 when it came out, just after it came out in the cinema. I watched it on VHS. Fucking hated it. Absolutely hated how it was shot. Like the best thing about that movie is the opening shot of Jim, because it's a direct rip-off of the Day of the Triffids. Like 100% direct rip-off of Day of the Triffids. One of the greatest science fiction stories of all time. But I just could not. I don't care about Jim. I don't care about anyone else in it. The only person I cared about was Brendan Gleeson's character, and he's in it for about 10 minutes before he turns. I hated Christopher Eccleston's character. That entire second half of 28 Days Later is just a complete rip-off of Day of the Dead. Yeah. Just military. Yeah, we know it's the military. You don't have to rip it off. 28 Weeks Later, I actually don't mind as much. I think it's a competently made film. Don't think they should have killed off, as a spoiler, don't think they should have killed off Jeremy Renner's character, and they should have played up on the zombies in France bit at the end.
Yeah.
And then you have 20 years between 28 weeks and 28 years, and then 28 years comes out, and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, what the fuck am I watching? Like, literally, what am I watching? It's like I can understand
the creepiest moment of that movie is the very, very beginning with the Rutger or the Kipling poem. You know, that being read, showing like the imagery and shit. That is literally the creepiest moment of that movie.
I mean, the movie starts with the fucking Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Like, for someone who wrote like Annihilation, Ex Machina, Civil War, the Dread movie, right? What the fuck was Alex Garland doing with this movie? And like, I can understand the aesthetic that Danny Boyle was going for, shooting it on an iPhone. You can shoot faster and stuff because it's all digital and you don't have to cart around a gigantic camera. But the amount of lenses and shit that they put on to the actual phone itself, you might as well have just shot it on a red camera or a digital camera. The contrast was way too high, so everything just looked too green, and I just hated it. I really, really, really disliked it. And like I said, it's a franchise that I've never really gotten on with. I've tried to enjoy them, just cannot get on with them.
Yeah.
Unlike something like Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Even Land of the Dead, I can watch over and over and over and over again. Never get bored of them. Never find an issue with them. Same with Shaun of the Dead. I can watch if it's flicking through the channels and it's halfway through, I can watch it, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But 28 Days Later or any of the films in that series, it's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get the love of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather watch Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh
which
yeah,
I
me
actually
too.
do think it's a
Me
fucking
too.
great movie anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the gold standard for running zombie movies.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big fan of running zombies, but
No.
I gotta admit that Dawn of the Dead remake kicks ass. It really does.
It's because it does something different. It doesn't.
Oh, and I
copy
forgot
the
Train to
film.
Busan. I forgot about Train to Busan.
Oh yeah,
that
Train to
movie,
Busan.
That movie's a masterpiece, man. I
Train to Busan is
I
great.
love them. I never in a million years thought that I would weep like a little girl at the end of a zombie movie until I saw that movie, and I did. I wept at the end of that film. It's so good. It is so good. I'm mad enough to admit that shit.
But like,
let's see here. Larry says, "Wow, Doctor Sleep." See, I told you, I always get hate for. I mean, not hate, but yeah, I can understand it. The main reason why, okay, and again, I love The Shining. I think The Shining is a better film than Doctor Sleep. And when I saw The Shining as a kid, it scared the shit out of me. Okay.
Same.
But Doctor Sleep, that sequence with the kid, Jacob Tremblay or whatever his name is, the baseball kid.
Yeah.
Is without a doubt one of the most unnerving things I have ever seen in any movie. And for that reason alone, Doctor Sleep will stand above The Shining in my eyes. It's just Rebecca Ferguson, is that her name? Or
Rebecca Ferguson.
She's phenomenal in that movie.
She
is friggin' phenomenal in that.
She is always the best thing in everything.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like that movie, and that's fine. I say watch the director's cut for one thing. It's longer, but it doesn't feel longer, and it's a better movie. But again, I was thoroughly entertained with that movie. And every time I watch it, I watch that one more than I watch The Shining. Let's put it that way. So Mike says, Pete, long-time subscriber, first time asking a question. What was the first movie you can remember watching at home?
What was the first movie? We talked about at the start, didn't we, what the first memory of the cinema was? Right,
and video, but not really like TV, like sitting there watching a movie on TV. Like, for instance, I saw, Wizard of Oz on TV as a small child. That's vivid in my memory, so.
Probably Star Wars. It would probably be the first Star Wars movie, which used to get shown a lot. Either that or one of the James Bond films. Because there's a channel in the UK called ITV. ITV has the broadcast rights for the Bond films in the UK, and they have done since the dawn of TV, I guess. And so they just continually play the Bond movies all the time. So either Star Wars or one of the Bond movies, probably a Roger Moore film, maybe View to a Kill. But I think, probably Star Wars more than anything else.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned through my doing the show, as a matter of fact, talking to the European guests, especially from the UK, finding out that every Christmas time or holiday time, James Bond and The Great Escape of all movies are on TV in heavy rotation. Yep. And it's like, never in a million years would I put those into a Great Escape. I understand. Okay. But I never really considered that like a Christmas movie.
So the way they do it in the UK is like the channels that broadcast these films are usually the ones that have the broadcast rights for them. Mm-hmm. And the only way they can keep those broadcast rights is if they show them at least once a year. So, like, I'm 42 in 14 days. And since I can remember, ITV has always shown the Bond movies and The Great Escape.
Mhm.
BBC has always shown The Sound of Music, The Wizard of Oz, and they usually have a Disney film on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I do remember the most vivid memory I have is Christmas Eve, 1991. It was the television premiere of Tim Burton's 1989 Batman movie.
Oh,
Yeah, that is the most vivid.
yeah. As a kid, I could see
Yeah.
where that would be a big deal.
Yes, that was an eye opener as a child seeing that, and that in the UK is classed as a 15, even though I guess it was a PG-13.
Yeah, it was PG-13 here in the States.
Yeah. So in the UK, that is like 15. So it's the one because our age ratings in the UK go PG 12, 15, 18, and then so 18 would be your. I guess 18 and 15 would be your R rating, and then anything after 18 would be NC 17, I think.
Yeah.
Or unrated.
Yeah. Or
So,
X. Yeah. I mean, it used to be
X,
anyway,
yeah.
and then people just automatically assumed that meant pornography, and that's why they came up with the NC-17. Yeah. Which again, they don't. Although I was going to say they don't really release too many NC-17 movies, but then again, the Terrifier movies were released unrated, and the Toxic Avenger just came out, and that one's unrated. So,
well, that's the thing, isn't it? If it's classed as NC-17, then theaters will refuse to show them.
Yeah,
but
they won't advertise it. That's
if they release it as unrated,
yeah,
they will show them.
Yeah,
it's madness. It's stupid.
I mean, in '85, that's the year that I turned 18. Okay, and Day of the Dead and Reanimator both came out within a month after I turned 18, and both were released not NC-17 but unrated for that very reason, because they got no advertising, no commercials, none of that shit. Nobody wanted to, and I was lucky enough to see them both. I had to drive 50 miles to find a fucking theater that ran them, but it was well worth it, so let's see here. Agreed, those two zombie films are awesome. Oh yeah, I must be talking about the remake of Dawn and Train to Busan. Don Coscarelli directed Kennedy and Company. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like I said, I got it mixed up with Sean Cunningham earlier. Daniel says, here in Sweden, we have a tradition of airing Ivanhoe from 1982 on New Year's Day for the past 30 years. I don't think I've ever seen that. See, I figured it would just be nothing but Ingrid Bergman films on a 24-hour loop. Max von Sydow. Me and him were talking about that when he was on here, because he's a big-time horror guy. And we were talking about Swedish culture and this and that, and I brought up Max von Sydow, who I fucking love. Okay, I mean, just love that guy. But I asked him, I said, one of his top things, I said, what's your favorite version of the devil in any movie? And I think he said Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate, but I went with Max von Sydow in Needful Things, because that movie is not great, but he is awesome in it. Him and JT Walsh are friggin' phenomenal together in that movie. So yeah, I said Max von Sydow is the only guy in history that could play Jesus and the devil, and the Exorcist, and Ming the Merciless. I mean, that guy, he was just, I love that guy. Okay, I'm gonna go to part 2 of my top 3, and I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna do it with you because, again, you're a movie guy like me, okay? And we were talking on Ollie's channel a couple of weeks ago, and Peter Hyams came up. Okay. Yes. And you were like, oh yeah, I love that guy too. And it got me thinking about filmmakers that are well known or journeymen or whatever, but they're not like Spielberg or Scorsese, or Cameron or Hitchcock. I mean, you got the directors up here that are like all-time great, and then you've got that next tier. You know what I mean? Yeah. So bearing that in mind, okay, top 3 directors in that middle tier that are journeyman type directors. That some people would be like, "Ooh," and then you say, "Yeah, he directed Bam, 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 Bam," and they go, "Oh shit, really? Okay, yeah, I like that guy." And Peter Hyams is a guy like that.
Yeah.
And you could use him as one of them if you want. I'll give you that cheat if you want.
The first one I'm gonna say is Joe Dante.
Great one. Great pick.
Joe Dante. Not including Piranha, because I think Piranha's crap.
Yeah, but it's fun. But it is fun.
It's fun. Gremlins. Inner Space. Stay Tuned. No, Stay Tuned was Peter Hyams.
Peter Hyams.
Yes, it was.
No, the Burbs from
The Burbs. That's the one. But then even in the 90s, Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
Like the guy basically, I can't even. Why am I even forgetting this? Explorers.
Yeah.
I fucking love Explorers.
Yeah, Joe Dante is awesome.
He is, and I think he kind of got unfairly. I don't want to say blacklisted.
Oh, in a way,
it felt like he did.
He did, in a way.
Yeah, that which really sucks because the last film that he released was Burying the X, which was a film with Anton Yelchin.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a zombie comedy type of thing.
Yeah.
But the other film he did before that was The Hole.
Yeah.
And The Hole it felt like an old school Joe Dante movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's why I love Joe Dante as a director. Also, Corman protege. So
yeah,
there's that link.
Absolutely.
Who else is there that I think is a really good sort of journeyman director? Hyams definitely.
Yeah.
Because not only is he a great director, he's a good screenwriter and he's a great cinematographer.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's his own cinematographer. Nobody really talks about that.
Yeah. Outland is a great movie. Narrow Margin, which I showed on Ollie's stream the other day. Stay Tuned.
Capricorn 1.
Capricorn 1, yeah. Capricorn 1.
You could throw Capricorn 1 in Outland and throw everything else out if you want. That's enough. I mean, it's like, wow. Running Scared.
I was just thinking of Running Scared as well. I need to get a Blu-ray of that.
Even the shitty Van Damme movies are good Van Damme movies under him. I mean, Time Cop is probably...
Time Cop's good, but...
Sudden Death
is fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun.
Sudden Death
Powers
is
Booth
great.
is great.
Powers Booth, yeah. And the other one I'd say is Walter Hill.
Yeah, Walter Hill is one of my all-time favorites.
I think I think apart from the one film he made with, oh shit, what is it? I think it was like the very late 80s, maybe 88, 89, or maybe early 90s.
Johnny Handsome?
No, I've got that. I've seen that one. I'm going to Google him a sec because this is doing my head in. Oh, sorry, that's my Amazon Alexa. Walter Hill. Also, Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Gave credit where credit's due to Akira Kurosawa and like Sergio Leone.
Yeah, it's like, what, the 5th different film version of Yojimbo?
Yeah.
At least. Real quick, while you're looking up, I'm going to say hello. Hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. Barry says, Mark L. Lester is a good journeyman director. Yeah, absolutely. They reckon Ron Howard is a journeyman director. Ron Howard's very good. He hasn't directed a great movie in a long time, but he's still pretty good. Umberto Lenzi is a good journeyman. Love his movies. Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, I was getting it confused with something else.
Oh.
It's all right.
What'd you have it confused with?
It might have been Johnny Handsome, but I have seen Johnny Handsome. It's Lance Henriksen and Mickey Rourke. I was just looking at his filmography on IMDb. Like his IMDb, it's insane.
Yeah, one of the very first videos I did on my channel, I was going through film directors' filmographies that I actually had. Not all of them, not a complete list, but Walter Hill was one of them. And I think I had I don't know, a dozen titles, maybe a little bit more. And out of the dozen, there was only one or two that I didn't like. Every other one was even the lower tier shit was still great. Like Trespass. I love Trespass. I think that movie's great. Hard
That's
Times.
one of the only ones I'm not that overly fussed on. I had the Blu-ray. I sold the Blu-ray because I still have a Region 1 DVD. Yeah. So
again, I don't think it's a great movie, but it's entertaining. I mean, Hard Times with Chuck Norris, Charles Bronson, and Lee Marvin. That's a great movie. Southern Comfort,
48 Hours, The Warriors, Long Riders.
Yeah,
just that early, just looking at it, the Street Fighter, aka Hard Times, The Driver, such a good fucking movie.
Yeah,
The Warriors. The Long Riders, which for some reason IMDb has the poster for.
His weakest 80s movie was probably Brewster's Millions, I would say, because that's not really a Walter Hill movie. That's like a director for hire movie.
Yeah. But he followed that with Crossroads, and then Extreme Prejudice, then Red Heat, then
Extreme Prejudice to me is one of the most underrated films ever.
100%.
That cast is so goddamn good. Oh my God. It's like a murderer's row of character actors in that movie. I mean, any movie that's got Michael Ironside and Clancy Brown in it, I'm in, man. I'm fucking in. Okay, we're getting sidetracked here. Okay, so we got your three directors, and all three of them excellent picks. Here's where we're going to get a little bit screwy. Top 3 original scores for a film.
Easy. Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
All right.
So, original scores. John Williams' Return of the Jedi scores, better than any of the other previous Star Wars scores. Has the best themes on it. Has Yoda's theme. It has the Luke and Leia theme. So that one, hands down, 100%. Follow that with Ennio Morricone's score for Once Upon a Time in America. The most beautiful musical arrangement for any movie ever. And because the movie's 7.5 million hours long, you get all that music that covers that. And the last one would be David Arnold's score for Independence Day, which is hugely bombastic while also being really sort of subdued and just hits the right beats at the right times. Phenomenal piece of music. There we go.
Nice. I disagree, but nice.
What would your choices be?
Well, when you said Ennio Morricone, originally I was Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I mean, to me, that is the greatest musical score of all time. My number 2 would be Conan the Barbarian, because that music just gets me going. What can I say? It just does. And number 3 would probably be The Great Escape. I love the music in The Great Escape.
Yeah. I'm a massive John Williams nerd, so he's my favorite composer. Yeah. In fact, the last 5 years on Spotify, my Spotify Wrapped of the year has been John Williams has been my number 1 listened to person.
Yeah. Okay. Similar question. Top 3 soundtracks. So not scores, just soundtracks. So a movie that has a lot of songs. In it. Yep.
Original songs or just songs that like a jukebox musical?
If you bought a soundtrack album and it has a bunch of songs on it.
Dirty Dancing, because I know Dirty Dancing has a phenomenal
difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Dirty Dancing has a phenomenal soundtrack. Good old
the best thing about that movie is the music. I'll give you that.
Incredible. Grease 2. Which I think has better songs than the original Grease.
I know, we were talking about that on Holly's. Yeah. That should have been your hot take.
That should have been my hot take. And what else would I choose? I listen more to scores than I listen to compilation soundtracks. Probably the movie Hackers, because it's got a lot of mid-90s techno on it. It's essentially just another Prodigy album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd go with those 3.
Yeah. Dirty Dancing, man. I'll give you that. As much as I hate that movie, and I hate that soundtrack, but not because it's bad. I hate that soundtrack because my ex-wife used to listen to it constantly.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then she'd have the earphones on, so I'd be hearing like the Mosquito version of "She's Like the Wind." Well, yeah. Between that and the Robin Hood soundtrack with fucking Bryan Adams, man, same thing, man, nonstop. It's like, oh. But no, those are decent picks. I'll give you that. I would have went with Heavy Metal, Pulp
Fuck, I
Fiction.
didn't even think of Heavy Metal.
Yeah,
and I love Heavy Metal.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Yeah,
and it was either that or the Reservoir Dogs because I love them both. And the Lost Boys. I love the Lost Boys soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack. Okay. Holy Grail films. What I mean by that is one of the huge things in Hollywood is reboots and remakes. Okay. It happens constantly.
Yes.
I want you to come up with 3 films that in your eyes are perfect and therefore should never be fucked with in any way, shape, or form as far as a reimagining goes, outside of maybe a remastering of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are 3 movies that should never be remade?
Well, clearly Back to the Future is one of them.
Yeah, that is a good
point.
Like,
it's you can't replicate that at all. Even if you threw so much money at it, it's still just a remake of Back to the Future. It's never going to be the same thing. The other one is, even though Sinners is very close to it, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Because I love that movie. And another film that is perfect, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could almost say that one was remade. It was called Fury Road. But it's pretty damn close.
My hot take on the Mad Max series is I'm a big Mad Max fan. I've got a Mad Max, the original poster on my wall, just over there. I've got the 3 original ones in 4K limited editions. Fucking love them. However, I think that Fury Road is the best Mad Max movie of them all, and probably the second greatest action film of all time. I don't think anything is ever going to come close to it.
Yeah, no.
Furiosa didn't even come close, and that was a great movie.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I purposely didn't see Fury Road when it came out because I love the original Mad Max movie so much, and I saw those original ones. You know, I have vivid memories of seeing the Road Warrior at the drive-in. You know, and just like, what the fuck is this? And then realizing 10 minutes in, holy shit, this is a sequel to Mad Max, which I had seen on HBO 6 months earlier. Okay. But because they didn't advertise it as Mad Max 2 here in the States. It was the Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Fury Road is outstanding.
Yeah. It's like we had 30 years of action movies, and then George Miller was just like, I'm sick of making Dancing Penguin movies. I'm going to go and show them how to fucking do it properly. Yeah. And then just gave us Fury Road.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like,
to me, Fury Road's like the best action movie of the 2000s, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It is
100%.
You know, and I've gotten into arguments with Stuart about this because he's like, it's just a bunch of noise and a bunch of CG, this and that and the other. And I'm like, there's not as much CG in that movie as you think.
No,
you know, I mean, a lot of it is practical, and that's why it's such a incredible achievement. I mean, it really is. You know,
almost every single shot in that film could be put up on a wall in a gallery as a piece of art.
Yeah,
because it just looks that phenomenal.
Not to mention, it's just fun.
Oh yeah,
fucking fun, man. Both of those movies are fun. Chris Hemsworth, he ought to have an eating disorder for how much scenery he is chewing. And Fury, you could tell he's just having a ball, you know. And I have a ball watching him in that movie. I mean, he's
great.
He's fucking awesome in that movie. I mean, the only other performance of his that I think I got a bigger kick out of was the first time I saw Bad Times at the Old Royale or whatever, where he plays that cult leader, you know, and he's dancing around to that Deep Purple song and shit. And it was like, holy shit, man, Thor's going there. You know, I wish he went there more.
Underrated movie as well.
I love that movie. I love that movie. Great cast. That's the first movie I ever saw Lewis Pullman in.
Yeah,
And
same.
same thing. He steals that damn movie. He is just
He's the
phenomenal in that.
concierge guy who was
Yeah.
just spying on the room. Yeah.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I mean, and it's like, and the girl from Wicked, Cynthia Erivo or whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing. First time I ever saw her, and it was like both of them were just a revelation to me in that film. I mean, yeah, I love that film. See, I get sidetracked here. Okay, we covered the Holy Grail. The Holy. Oh no, you said Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And what were your other two picks? I'm sorry.
Mad Max.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
2.
we did go through. Yeah, that's where we got sidetracked.
I did say another one, didn't I?
Did you say the third one? Because I'm losing my train of thought talking about Mad
What did I
Max.
say? Back to the Future. Mad Max. I swear I said another one.
No, you did just say two, because then I said they did do a remake. It's called Fury Road, and then we started talking about Fury Road. So
okay,
that was my
third
bad.
Holy Grail movie, which should never have. Taxi Driver.
Good pick. Good pick.
My favorite Martin Scorsese film.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because it was the first one I saw.
Oh,
and it's the first one that, like, I got mad respect for Scorsese. I love Goodfellas. I love Casino. I love Raging Bull. But Taxi Driver, there's something that reminds me of Reservoir Dogs in that.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd done like Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and I think he did another one after that. No, it was Who's That Knocking on the Door? Then Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and then he did Taxi Driver. And Taxi Driver just feels, it's very 1976 New York.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, but it's also my favorite Paul Schrader script as well. But there's a lot of Paul Schrader stuff that I really love. I love the Yakuza. I think that's a really underrated movie. Like hot on the heels of Friends of Eddie Cole, like Robert Mitchum, so just badass in that movie.
You ever, of course, you've seen it because you just said you like Paul Schrader. You ever see Hardcore?
Yeah,
that's a tough watch, man. It's a good movie. It's a good movie, but it's a tough watch, man.
Another fantastic George C. Scott performance, as usual.
I think it's his best performance that I've seen. I mean, he's brilliant as Patton, okay? Yeah. But I think he's better in Hardcore. I really do. He's just phenomenal in that film. Not to mention The Changeling. I love him in The Changeling as well.
I reviewed that when Second Sight in the UK released it on Blu-ray, and they sent me a screener for it, and I reviewed it, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it, and it scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah. I saw that as a child.
Like The Shining did, or like the original Haunting did, but The Changeling literally creeped me the fuck out.
I saw that as a child downstairs in the basement of my house growing up at like 2 a.m, okay? Because I had like some friends spending the night or whatever. And when that fucking ball came down the stairs, okay, the furnace kicked on, which was right next to where we were. Oh my God, I thought I shit my pants, man. Oh my God. But yeah, I love The Changeling. It's just, it's a perfect ghost story. You know, people can talk about The Sixth Sense all they want. No, I'd rather watch The Changeling. It's such a good movie. Let's see here real quickly, because wow, man, we're flying by here. We've already been out here for an hour and 45, so I love it. Oh yeah, Clint Eastwood, very underrated director, even though he's got a couple of Oscars, because people think of him more of an actor than they do a director, and he's a great director. Robert Wise, he's a good.
Robert Wise is really cool because the amount of different things that he made, in different genres, is like insane. I mean, he made West Side Story, and then like 20 years later did Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Yeah. How do you put those?
We were talking on Ollie's show. Okay, you want to talk about somebody that does a lot of different things. Although, real quick, I have a beautiful comic book by Walter Hill called Triggerman. Oh wow, I didn't even know he did. That's awesome, Daniel. Bob Clark.
Yeah, we were talking about Bob Clark. Yeah.
You want to talk about a guy who like dipped his toe in every fucking genre,
Yeah.
man. I mean, seriously, there is no rhyme or reason to his filmography. There really isn't,
No.
you know, other than there's some really good movies in there and there's some real crap.
There really is.
Best score, The Rock, Last of the Mohicans, yeah, and The Thing, yeah. But the Last of the Mohicans score, yeah, I totally agree with that one. That's one of the best scores of all time. Mark agrees with me about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Absolutely. Oh, as far as what should never be remade, yeah, that's one of mine. You don't fuck with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Godfather should never be remade, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think it should ever be remade, but I don't think it ever would be. That's not to mention the fact that if they ever did remake it, it would go from a 3-hour movie to like an hour and a half because today's audience doesn't have the patience.
Not the attention span.
No, I've noticed that with a lot of the, like Ali, for instance, he's not a huge fan of the Godfather films. It's one of those films that he respects more than he actually enjoyed, And I'm like, hey, man, I get it. When I saw it as a kid, I thought the same thing. This movie's boring. Oh, wow, there's a horse in the bed. Or a horse's head in the bed, that sort of thing. But as I got older, it's like I learned to appreciate those films quite a bit, But I would still rather watch Goodfellas than The Godfather.
Yeah.
Goodfellas to me is a perfect movie. It really is. There's everything about that film is just perfect. I mean, I know you said that Taxi Driver is your favorite Scorsese film. Goodfellas to me, like I said, it's a masterpiece. It's just perfect on every level. Okay, you are trapped on a desert island. We were talking about this on Ollie's movie. Okay, however, you do have power, and you've got a TV, and you have a Blu-ray player, but you only have 3 movies. What are those 3 movies?
Right. So the other day I chose comedy.
Yes,
and I said I did actually say that I would change up the choices.
Yes. Now you want the Elsa trilogy, I know.
So I'm gonna choose one from 3 different genres. So I'm gonna go horror. I'm gonna go Dawn of the Dead, the original.
Great,
because it's my favorite horror movie of all time. Action, I'm gonna say. No, I'm not gonna take a. Yeah, I will. I'll take an action movie. I will have. I'll take with me. Probably Predator, even though that would fit in more with sci-fi as well.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll probably go with that.
In this category, you can blend genres all you want.
Yeah,
you only got 3 movies to choose from. So,
and the last one I'd take is an animated movie from the 1980s called Star Chaser: The Legend of Orin.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
That is a very deep cut. Only reason because I looked over earlier and I saw my DVD
shit.
down there, and I forgot how much I enjoyed that film, even though it's a complete rip-off of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But that is a fun movie that I can watch over and over again.
Nobody talks about that movie.
I'm not nobody, though, am I, Jim?
I know. See, and this is why I was so excited. I mean, okay, I did a haul the other day, and I even brought you up in the video, okay, because one of the movies that I got was a comedy from 1980. And I prefaced saying 99% of you watching this movie or this video have probably never heard of this movie, much less seen it. And I go, as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask my friend Pete if he's ever heard or seen of the movie Serial with Martin Mull, Sally Kellerman, Christopher Lee, Tommy Smothers. It's a comedy from 1980.
So, the name sounds familiar. I may not have seen it, but it does sound familiar.
Yeah, that's one of those movies that was completely forgotten through the years. And my sister gave me a gift card for Amazon for my birthday. So I was just kind of surfing, and I just typed it in for the hell of it because I didn't think it was ever released, and found an out of print Blu-ray that they still had on Amazon for under $20. And I was like, yes. And I haven't watched it yet, although I've seen that movie 100 times, but I haven't watched it in probably 43 years. So I'm really hoping that it stands up. But so far, only one person has seen it, and about 3 people have heard of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it's a pretty obscure title. Not as obscure. All right. Since I got Dan and Daniel and a couple of these other guys here in the chat, bring up the movie that you brought up on Ollie's the other day that stumped me.
Oh, Slipstream.
Yeah.
I've still got it right next to me.
Yeah. Tell the nice people at home who's in this movie.
This is Bill Paxton, Mark Hamill, Bob Peck, Eleanor David. I don't know who that is. Kitty Aldridge, Ben Kingsley, F. Mary Abraham, and Robbie Coltrane.
And directed by the director of Tron,
Steve Lisberger.
Yeah, I never heard of that until you mentioned it the other day. So, yeah, you've got me beat on the obscure thing, but like I said, there might be a couple of people in the chat that have at least heard of that one. I mean, Dan and Mike, they watch lots of obscure shit like that, so it wouldn't surprise me. And Daniel, I know he watches lots of stuff like that too. So, okay, real quickly here. Hey, Papa Goss is here. Hey, what's up, buddy? You're a little late, but that's okay. Better late than never. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And Melina says, taxi driver have blonde actresses. Sybil Shepherd.
And Jodie Foster was blonde at the time, I believe.
Yeah. And very, very young and very, that's disturbing. Okay, so anyways, we are starting to come up on the 2-hour mark, everybody. But I want to take this opportunity to tell everybody once again, if you have not done so, please go over to Pete's channel at Pedro's Movie Cavern. That's the name of the channel. You can reach him. The actual address is at Cinepocalypse Online. So type in Pedro's Movie Cavern, you'll find him. Okay, but anyways, Pete's a great guy. As you can tell from the last couple of hours, he's got a great channel. He puts out content. He shows up on Ollie's live streams, which somehow me and Kenny seems to have taken over. The Yanks have taken over like everything else as fucking Americans. But like I said, I'm very grateful to that live stream because that's how I got in touch with you and a couple of other people in the community, and it's been great. So, but anyways, I want to give you the opportunity to plug your channel, whatever you got coming up, anything that you want to talk about. Floor is yours.
So my channel is Pedro's Movie Cavern. I post videos of my pickups on Blu-ray, 4K, DVD, whatever. I go through my DVD collection and my my Blu-ray collection, just talk about different films that I've got. I've got a very, very, very big collection, like very big. The stuff that is behind me is a very, very small portion of it. I have about, at one point I had 9,000 movies. Yes, I got rid of a lot of them.
That's a lot, man.
I got rid of a lot of them. So under my bed, I currently have these big, long DVD bags. I've got 8 of them, and they can hold 30 DVDs when they're in their cases. But when I moved, I had to reduce them down, so I had to put them in plastic sleeves with the artwork. I didn't get rid of the artwork, just got rid of the boxes. And I can now fit 200 DVDs to a bag. And there's 6 that are full of just DVD sleeves, and the others are full of still box ones. So I go through them quite often. I talk more about the movies than I do about the product on my channel, because there's one thing I've noticed on a lot of physical media channels is that they seem to be more focused on the packaging of a film than on the actual content that is on the disc. So first and foremost, my channel might look like a physical media channel on the surface, but when you watch my videos, you'll know that they are actually about films. It's a cinephile type of thing. It's not like cinephiles and movie fans wouldn't have movies without Blu-ray. So there's that. But yeah, come and check me out. I'm not for kids. I swear. I swear. I make jokes and stuff. One thing I like to say is that if I know if a film is crap, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm going to tell you a film's crap. If I think a film is good, I'm going to tell you a film's good. So that's one reason. My videos are sometimes quite long. They can be between half an hour to a full hour, depending on what the subject matter is. So I don't expect everyone to sit there and watch me ramble for 45 minutes. But it's nice when people do, and then when they comment. If you do check out my channel, if you click on the About, it'll bring up a lot of links where you can find me, but it also has links to my websites. Now, I don't think I've told you about this, Jim. I've written movie reviews and essays for the last 15 years. And I've got two websites. One's called cinepocalypse.com, which is where the at Cinepocalypse came from. The other one's called Pedro's Movie Cavern, or Pedro's Movie Website, I think it is now, which Cinepocalypse is all movie reviews. It's just going through different films that I've watched and just writing maybe 2 pages of stuff. Pedro's Movie website is more essays, where I've written quite a lot of stuff about certain movies or certain genres. There's a bit on there about Italian exploitation. There's a bit on there about the TV show Friends. Yeah, it was. I set the website up because I didn't want to write to a specific format. I wanted to write how I wanted to write.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one was kept as just a review site. So the Pedro's Movie website is where I primarily write now. I don't really write much on Cinepocalypse anymore. So if you want to check out my crappy words, click on those links. So that's pretty much it. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on Twitter or X. I barely even use that. I'm on Facebook. It's easiest to find me on Facebook or on YouTube. That's me. Yay.
Yay. No, that's awesome. I didn't know that you had a couple of sites like that. So yeah, I will check into both. That's great. Okay, so like I said earlier, if you haven't already, please go over to Pete and subscribe, show him some love, show him the support that you guys always show me. And now it's time for me to whore out my stuff, because I'm just a dirty, dirty whore. 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
From which I guess would be your birthday. You said in 14 days is your birthday, the 20th?
The 20th.
Well, happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
Thank you very much.
So to celebrate Pete's birthday, me and Larry, the Whorecat Dad, are going to be doing a show.
Yay!
But no, my very special guest in 2 weeks will be Larry, the Whorecat Dad, who has been in the chat today. That will be on the 20th, which is 2 weeks from today. Same bat time, same bat channel right here. And on this coming Tuesday, the 9th, and the next installment of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim, we are going to be discussing the works of Stephen King for a multitude of reasons. Our very special guest will be Sean at Cinephile World Order. And first and foremost, the real reason why we're doing this, I kind of pushed for this episode, is because Stephen King's having a renaissance this year. He really is. We're talking 4 theatrical films and 2 series on streaming services in this calendar year alone. For those of you who don't know, the movies are The Monkey, The Life of Chuck, The Long Walk, which comes out 3 days after our episode, and later on, The Running Man remake, which we were talking about earlier. The 2 series are The Institute and It, Welcome to Derry, which is coming out on HBO Max. And honestly, looks kind of good, to be honest. We'll see. But I am a huge Stephen King fan. I've been reading him since I was way too young to be reading Stephen King. And The Long Walk, outside of The Stand and The Mist, The Long Walk is my favorite thing that the man has ever written. And I've been waiting 40 years for this fucking movie. And I guess I got to wait another week. But by all accounts, it's one of the better adaptations in recent years. Most movies these days do review embargoes, where they won't release any embargo or any reviews until like 2 or 3 days before release. They already lifted the embargo on this movie, And as of this morning, with over 50 odd reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at 95%. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully some of you can join us. We already talked about, your favorite 3 Stephen King films, but did you ever read any Stephen King growing up, or do you ever read his stuff?
I read Cell.
Great
and then
book,
I watched the movie.
horrible movie.
Terrible movie. And I read Carrie. And I read The Mist, because obviously The Mist was just the novella, so it was a small, like, short book. But that's pretty much all I've read Stephen King wise. Most of the stuff I know about Stephen King is through movies and like the miniseries, the adaptations and stuff, all the way back to like the early, like Carrie and then Christine and stuff like that. And also I've got things like Desperation, which is okay. It is okay. I have the awful Dark Tower movie as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Those books are so good, and that movie is so fucking bad.
And they made a 90-minute movie out of the first one. So yeah, I mean, I've got a massive Stephen King physical media collection, like huge. Last year I went through a phase of just buying as much as I can. So I bought the is it the 11 something
1163 or whatever, the Kennedy one. Yeah.
I've got that. I've got Doctor Sleep. I've got The Shining. I've got Storm of the Century. What was the other one? The Big Driver. I've got that as well. Bag of Bones. Loads. I've got loads of them. Like I said, I went through a process of collecting them all. Well, I'll tell you what, one of the worst cinema experiences I ever had was going to see Dreamcatchers.
I was gonna say,
fucking terrible movie.
As soon as you said one of my worst experiences, we were talking about Stephen King. I knew you were going to say Dreamcatcher. Yeah, the shit weasels.
Yeah.
Even when I was reading that book, okay, I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized after the fact why that story is so out there, because he was hopped up on painkillers, half dead from getting the car hitting him, So, but yeah, with the talent involved in that movie,
I know
you would think that it would be like an all-time
Lawrence Kasdan
great movie, thinking? And oh my god, what a piece of shit! Why the fuck would he try to grab that toothpick off that nasty ass bathroom floor?
I don't know.
I mean, I smoked for 40 years. Okay, I just quit a couple of months ago. All right,
good for you. I'm still smoking.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still smoking pot, but this version of it. But yeah, I finally gave up cigarettes. But anyways, at my worst, jonesing for a cigarette. Okay. If I was trying to keep some alien monster in a toilet and there was a cigarette on a nasty ass bathroom floor, I would not bend over to try to pick it up. I don't care. I mean, really? Yeah, really bad. Okay, so yeah, that movie is not good. It is not good. Okay, before we go, I want to acknowledge people in the comments that are still here. Daniel, great stream, guys. Thank you so much, Daniel. Stacy, Sarah. Oh, that's awesome, Sarah. Thank you. Hold on. I hate friggin' StreamYard now. They changed everything, and it's pissing me off. Mark, your website sounds really interesting, Pete. What do you come under on Facebook, please?
Peter Pedro Osmond. The link should be on my channel.
Nope. There you go, Mark. And let's see here. Mark says, he also says, I read Salem's Lot, Thinner, The Tommy Knockers, and the novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, the Shawshank Redemption was part of Different Seasons, which also had The Body, which became Stand By Me, and Apt Pupil, which became a very disturbing Bryan Singer movie, and The Breathing Method, which became nothing. Let's see here. Dreamcatcher is an awful movie. Yeah, it's really bad. And Johnny Carrot, hope more. This has been good. Thank you so much, Johnny. Yeah, we do this every 2 weeks. I have a different guest every 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, my next guest will be Larry the Horcat Dad. And I'm also going to, on the next episode, when Larry's on here, I'm going to be making a very special announcement about October and this live show. So tune in 2 weeks for that. But Pete, I just want to take this opportunity. Thank you so much for being here. This was a blast. I knew you would be a great guest, and you did not disappoint. So thank you very much, sir.
Well, thanks for inviting me on. Yeah, I was looking forward to doing this.
Awesome. Hopefully you'll come back at a future date, because
hell yeah, I would.
Yeah, like I said, this is always the highlight of my week when I get to do this for a couple of hours, especially when I get somebody on here who's as passionate as I am about shit. So, it's pleasure's been all mine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Awesome. And I want to thank everybody in the chat again for being here. Without you guys, the show would be very boring. So thank you so much for all your contributions as well. And we'll be catching everybody in 2 weeks right here when when Larry is on. And on Tuesday night on Sean's channel, that's what I forgot to mention on the Stephen King show. You can watch that live either on Sean's channel at Movie Salt or the Talking Movies with Sean Kenny and Jim channel, which is Talking Movies 2024. So you cannot watch that show on my channel. But I leave links all the time on my channel, so you guys can figure it out. You're all smart people. So with that, we are going to be calling it a day. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll be catching everybody on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Bye.